Hey, welcome to Wager Talk TV. Scott Spreitzer here, and the two next to me as we talk about a little college football. Need no intro, but I'll do it anyway. The man under the hat, Dave Cokin. You know him well. 25, 30 years at least now. Don't mean to date you, but that's the way it is.
It's more than that.
I was being nice. I even grew a white beard for you, man.
It's almost 40.
40 years now in the industry. I've known Dave forever, and it's good to have him as part of the WagerTalk.com roster, by the way. And Kelly Stewart of Kelly in Vegas fame, who's now doing a little bit with the Oakland Raiders as far as a podcast or video every week here in Las Vegas. We'll talk about that on the Raiders-Broncos video that we're doing with Kelly in just a bit. We're talking about Clemson at Virginia Tech in this particular game. Great ACC battle. We saw Matt Holt, we saw CGT open Clemson a 7.5-point road favorite in Blacksburg, still 7.5 as we shoot this video. Both teams, Kelly, 4-0. We've got both teams who run the ball well, they defend well. Clemson slams the door on Auburn. They kick Louisville 6 ways to Sunday. Your first thoughts on this particular game? Have you found a betting advantage for either side of this one?
You know, this is a tough one, and at first I didn't find anything. And when you text me, you said, hey, let's talk Clemson, Virginia Tech, and I'm going, oh no, I don't really like anything on this game. So I spent some more time on it, and I actually like the dog. Go figure. Kelly in Vegas likes to bet.
You never heard that before.
Home dogs all the time. You're giving me 7.5 with a Virginia Tech team who is really scrappy, and this is a Clemson team that I'm not really that sold on. Kelly Bryant, a.k.a. Deshaun Watson's backup. Yeah. It's just not that impressive. This kid has thrown more interceptions than touchdowns this season, and frankly, this is just a spot where I'm banking on the better defense plus the points. Virginia Tech has held their opponents to 41 points this season. That's where I got to lean with this one. Give me the 7.5 at CG Technology, and maybe a little bit on the money line.
If there's a live dog, Kelly's going to be on it, and she will, to steal Gianni's famous line, sprinkle a little bit on the money line from time to time. Dave, she mentioned about, you know, the new offense for Clemson, not quite where it was last year, and I agree with that. I mean, look at this team. They're in a situation where they're one of the worst teams in college football when it comes to takeaways. They're like -2 as far as their turnover margin is concerned. Virginia Tech, one of the best as far as turnover margin is concerned, and a lot of times in a big game that comes into play.
It does. And under normal conditions, I might look at this and say, well, you know, this is a spot to grab the home dog. It makes sense. Virginia Tech's very talented, very explosive. You know that Bud Foster's going to be able to come up with some defensive schemes to control things on the Clemson side. But have we gotten to the point where it's just a formality as to what's taking place during the regular season until Alabama and Clemson meet for the third time in a row? Yeah. And I'm starting to think that's the case, because when it comes to big game time, these two coaches, Saban and Dabo, they just don't lose. And, you know, Virginia Tech, full credit to what Justin Fuente's doing there. I think he's changed the culture. They'd kind of gotten a little stale under Beamer toward the end of his regime. He's injected new life into it. I think it really is a program on the rise once again. But they haven't been in a situation like this before, where this is clearly the biggest game on the Saturday schedule. And I don't know if they've got the experience to react to that and not make the critical mistake at some point. I'm not laying more than a touchdown with Clemson. There's just no way I'm going to do that. This home field is going to be insane on Saturday night, and it's still a very good home field. But if I have to pick a winner in the game, I would go Clemson. So I guess my recommendation would be, if you're looking to do something with this game, if you like Virginia Tech, maybe tease them up. And I'm not a big college teaser guy, not at all. But in that situation, I think they're going to be competitive, but I don't think they're going to win the game.
We're going to find out from the new quarterback for Clemson if he can win a ball game. I know there was one, I think StatFox reported this, that Clemson's on a 6-0 spread run when they face a defense that allows no more than 120 yards rushing per game, which fits Virginia Tech. But that was Deshaun Watson at quarterback who was making those marks. Kelly, I think you're right. So you're going to stick with Virginia Tech plus the points?
You know I am, just because this one last final stat, 1-4 against the spread the Tigers are. When playing in Blacksburg, yes, I understand part of that was under Frank Beamer, but this is just one of those situations where they are the live dog, and you've got to take the team that I think cares more. I think Clemson, we saw last week, maybe was in a look-ahead spot towards this game, but they struggled for 3 quarters with Boston College.
Final thoughts, Dave?
I really am going to stay out of the game. If I had to bet it, I think what it comes down to for me more than anything is that I trust Swinney in big games. Guys, he's a monster in big games, and I don't want to go against him. So if I had to bet the game, I think I'd take Clemson, but it's just absolutely – of all the games this weekend, it might be the least likely one for me to bet but absolutely the most likely one for me to watch. I can't wait for this game.
When elite coaches become elite coaches, they start reloading rather than rebuilding, and Dabo Swinney has the Clemson Tigers
Fuente's going
at
to
that
get Virginia
point.
Tech
Oh, I
to that
like
level.
Fuente. I think that was a
He's
very good
star on the
hire, no
rise.
doubt about it.
Yep.
Hey, listen, you can get mine, Dave's, or any other handicappers 3-day all-access package right now at wagertalk.com for just $59. All right, stick around. We got a lot more. We got Matt Holt joining us from CGT Sportsbooks in Nevada also. Plus, the Raiders, the Broncos. We'll get Kelly's thoughts on that all coming up still right here on Wager Talk TV.